right. So as I was preparing this, talk for what the world needs now, I was reminded of this old Aztec story, and the story starts off with the world on fire, and it seems like such an apt metaphor for our times, because the world's on fire and all the animals are running away, all hope is lost, and we have this similar situation now. We have a hunger crisis, an economic crisis, an energy crisis. We have half the world living on less than $2 a day. We have islands of trash growing in our oceans, and we have, this has to be a message to our youth and to all of us that we cannot live the next 100 years the way that we've lived the past 100 years. And so if you think about this world on fire metaphor, and you think about, okay, we really need to get our youth ready for this, how do you think we're doing this? I'll just give you a picture here. This is my class at Kansas State University. This is where most of the preparation of our youth is happening, and certainly in the most serious types of preparation that are happening. And you can see they're not really engaged. And there's actually like a real test you can do for this to find out just how engaged they are and how much they are engaging in these really important questions. And that is just to pay attention to the questions that they're asking. A good question is something that leads people on a quest. And if you pay attention to the questions that students are asking in this environment, they turn out to be questions like this. How many points is this worth? How long does this paper need to be? What do we need to know for this test? I mean, these are like the worst types of questions around. And it's not that this group is lazy and disengaged. I mean, this is the same group here. I don't know if you see the difference. So something's gone wrong here. I've actually done surveys with the students. One day we just set up a camera and we just panned it around and students could sort of give confessions and that kind of thing. And we got things like this. I buy $100 textbooks that I never open. My neighbor paid for class but never comes. We did a survey and we found that across the university they were completing 49% of the readings that were assigned to them. But even worse, they're finding only 26% relevant to their life, which is like a 74% failure rate on our part. Goes on, I bring my laptop to class when I'm not working on class stuff. And this was nicely illustrated in the fact that like her IM actually popped up just as she was presenting this. I Facebook through most of my classes. And these last two actually present something else to us, a new sort of disruption in the classroom. And that is that there is something in the air. There's literally something in the air. It's in the air all around us, and most of us can access it from at least one device that's on us right now, if not multiple devices. Our students are the same way. And what's in the air is nearly the entire body of human knowledge. It's the digital artifacts of about 2 billion people on the planet connecting and sharing and collaborating. And if you could picture it, it might look something like this. It's like the new media landscape. But this is really just the beginning, because we're headed towards ubiquitous computing, ubiquitous communication, ubiquitous information on unlimited speed about everything, everywhere, from anywhere, on all kinds of devices. And this makes it ridiculously easy to connect, organize, share, collect, collaborate, and publish. And it makes exams like this seem really silly and out of place. This is a multiple choice Scantron exam for those of you who've never seen one. So this is this is way out of place here. I'm going to make the basic argument today that we need to move our students from simply being knowledgeable, that is knowing a bunch of stuff, which is basically what we're trying to do when we line them up in these big lecture halls and dump information on them. And we need to move them to being knowledge-able, that is able to find, sort, analyze, ultimately criticize, and even create new information and knowledge. And we have to recognize that knowledge ability changes over time based on the communication environment they're in. And that's because media are not just tools. Media are not even just means of communication. Media shape what can be said, who can say it, who can hear it, how it can be said. And in that way, they also, in a sense, mediate relationships. Ultimately, media are what allow us to connect with one another, and they allow us to connect with each other in different ways depending on the medium. So when media change, our relationships change. And there's a great analysis of this from the television era from Neil Postman. Just think about what television did when it came in and became the dominant medium of our culture. It totally rearranged our living rooms, first off, right? We had to rearrange the furniture around the television. And let's face it, that's the dining room too in a lot of cases. So this is a massive shift in our relationships at home.